And welcome in, everybody. DJ Yokley here with a very special guest and talking about a very special partnership that YSN has. Todd McElroy, the Vice President of the Mahoning Valley Coaches Association, with us. Todd, you and I have talked about this for a long time, something that we've wanted to iron out, and finally it comes to fruition. YSN and the MVCA partnered up together for the next few years and hopefully beyond that. But it's important because now there's an opportunity for you to have a voice and for us to help more kids at a much bigger scale.
Sure, I think that it's a no-brainer for us. I think for MVCA, I think that a lot of coaches that are within this organization, coaching at football, basketball, whatever sport that you have, a lot of people just don't know that there's a coaches association that's here in the Valley to help them and but most importantly, help the kids get recognized within our local organization. So we feel that our partnership with YSN, albeit it was a small or a slow process, I think it's going to work out for our coaches association, but most importantly for the kids that represent us in the Valley and our student athletes.
Some of the events we're going to cover are just, to me, so exciting because there's so much that the MVCA does and nobody really knows about because it's hard to raise your own flag up the flagpole sometimes.
Well, we're hoping like with YSN that people, we also have young coaches that are coming in to, as head coaches and assistant coaches. We're hoping that they can use another platform to use like their computer or their smartphone to make sure they can check out YSN to say, oh, MVCA is doing this, like I'd like to go. So, certainly this event is something that started off as like a football kickoff, and now we're kind of turning it to a tournament preview. But I think it's really good to see the turnout and who we have here. But I think as we see these events that are coming up that we're having, we'd like to see those even get better as far as attendance is concerned.
Now, there's obviously a few missions that you guys have. Number one is growing membership so you can help more kids and more programs. Talk about some of the other missions that you have set out for the MVCA.
Well, I think the first and foremost is getting our kids recognized and doing what's best for our local athletes. Not only do we want to see them on games like YSN, but we also want to, people that are on the executive committee or coaches that are part of the association that have kids that play a particular sport, they can get a scholarship I think we've given our scholarships anywhere from $500 to $800 for kids that graduate. And we do that for not just 2 or 3 kids. Sometimes in certain years, we're giving it to like 8 or 10 kids. So it's one of those things where not a lot of people know that we're doing. And when we do it, next coaches say, oh, I wish I would have known about that. That's the one thing that we don't really want to hear that statement. I didn't know about that, because that's kind of, I feel as an organization, that's our fault because we haven't properly notified all the right avenues to make sure they did know about it.
So when you look at everything from a standpoint, if somebody says, what is the MVCA and how do I get involved? Right now, as the VP, how do you tell people to get involved, whether it's individually or from a program standpoint?
Well, right now we do, our organization has guys that are put in place to send out mailers to schools. And sometimes that's tough because mail tends to not get to the right people,
right?
Through the ADs or through the coaches. So one of the things that we do, at least from, I coach basketball. So, I'm trying to reach out to all my basketball coaches and get them involved. I know there are football coaches on our executive board that they reach out to the football coaches. And then we have ADs. I mean, Ron DeJulio and Ron DeJulio Jr. are here tonight. And, hopefully they're doing the best they can, which I know Ron Jr. sent out a large email to a lot of the ADs to get them to tell coaches to get involved with your local organization.
How exciting is it when you see another school jump on, probably as much as it is for us, when you see another school finally the switch is flipped a little bit and they go, okay, this can help our kids. How good does that make you feel? And I mean, there's a little bit of pressure, but it really is, hey, listen, you're going to get out of it as much as you put into it.
No doubt. The one thing that was real exciting was with Garrettsville Garfield that joined in just recently. And I know their coaches are just sitting over there right now, but, a school that's in Portage County, and we are the Mahoning Valley Coaches Association. But, one of the things when I joined this association 10 years ago, some of the older gentlemen that are on the executive committee told me, hey, this isn't just the Mahoning County. We serve the Mahoning Valley. and Trumbull County is certainly involved in there, and even Portage County, they want to get involved. At least at least Garfield does. And that to see them come into this place tonight for this football preview was really kind of cool because they want to be here because they brought all their coaches with them.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Let's talk about new blood. I mean, every organization needs new blood, and the old, I don't want to say old timers, the wily veterans of the bunch naturally say, hey, it's great that we're here and we show up, but we need more. We need youth to keep this thing going. Why and how do people get involved right now?
Well, for me, I'll use myself as an example because 11 years ago, I came to Canfield, and I can't remember who told me. I think it was Coach Cullen, who I coached behind at Canfield, told me to get involved with MVCA. And, from then, we really tried to get more younger people involved because, boy, the coaching turnover is just changing, from one year to the next. But you do have some, as we all stated, old timers that are kind of exiting the game a little bit, and we need new blood to get in there. And I think that, I know coaches are really wrapped up into what they're doing in their season, and I get that, I understand that, but I think some of the, as a coach, you kind of graduate to the next level and say, hey, instead of like me, like serving my program or serving my coaching staff, I need to kind of reach out a little bit and use a local organization to reach out to other coaches that want to get involved too. So I think just getting the word out, continuing to kind of preach the message and say, hey, MVCA is here, to help you and to get involved. I mean, the dues are only $5 per person,
Incredible.
or $100 for a school membership. And it's just, I mean, what MVCA can do for that membership and that the dues that you pay are just endless, really.
The scholarships are incredible.
They are.
I mean, Todd gave me a rundown on the scholarships. I was at a meeting not too long ago, and they said this is what it's all about. It goes to the kids. And even if that's a book or I mean, listen, I'm still paying on my college loans 20 years later. If I would have had the MVCA or known about the MVCA, or my coaches would have, I would have been grateful for that one book or any scholarship at that point. How does it work from the scholarship standpoint? I mean, everybody that kind of joins gets a scholarship, correct?
You have to be a member for a certain number of years. I believe it's three, maybe even 3 years. It's 3 years. Well, as VP, I should know my policies a little bit better than that, but it is 3 years. I got it almost right, but yeah, you got to be there 3 years. And like I said, once you're, if you have a son, like I have a son who's going to be a senior, I'm going to have a daughter who's going to be a junior next year. I'll be able to kind of fill out an application with Rod Greenemeyer or Tony Matisse would handle that for us. And then they, depending on how much we had in the kitty and what's allocated there for them, that determines the scholarship. So, and again, that comes out, they get it, and then it'll take care of anything, like I said, depending on how many scholarships are available, then we make that determination. But I mean, it's just as simple as filling out an application. That's all it is.
I appreciate your time. Obviously, we're looking so much to this partnership. It's going to be great. We're looking to help out not only the area schools, but the kids. I mean, everybody says it's all about the kids, but I think that when you're able to back it up with your talk and your actions, and you guys have for so long, that's what makes it special. So thank you for allowing us to be partners with you guys. We're looking forward to a great, fruitful relationship, and thanks for joining us here today.
Absolutely. Thank you, DJ.
My brother, thank you.